done. So today we are doing Chittanupassana, and Chittanupassana is about observing the mind. Why do we need to observe the mind? Because once you start observing the mind, you understand that your mind can trick you. There's a lot of delusion in our life, a lot of delusion, right? Lobha, Dvesha, Moha, in that delusion is Moha. Because of this Moha, we get Lobha Situvili and Dvesha Situvili, things I like and things I don't like. All this is because of the Moha. So the only way to understand Moha is to observe your thoughts, right? So Satipatthana is known as Ekayano Maggo, the only way, Ekama Marga for Nirvana, right? Once you attain Nirvana, your Moha, delusion is completely eradicated. And there is no more Moha or delusion in your mind. And therefore, there is no more Lobha-Dvesha in your mind, greed and aversion, right? So, how does your mind trick you? I was just telling an example that right now it's 11 a.m. in the morning. I don't feel hungry, nor do I feel thirsty. However, if suddenly, unknown to me, someone has ordered something from KFC and it gets delivered by Uber and it gets kept in front of me on the table. I see KFC fried chicken, I see a Coke, and suddenly I'm hungry and thirsty. Now, how can a person who was not hungry and thirsty suddenly feel hungry and thirsty, right? And what happens is there are 6 sense doors in our body. There are the eyes that can see, the nose that can smell, the mouth or the tongue that can taste, the body that can feel, the ear that can hear, and the mind that has memories and can think. 6 sense doors with 6 sense objects, right? The sense object is visual objects for the eye, things you can hear for your mind. Give me a second, please. Hi, Ruante. Anne, sweetheart, me, I am in the last Dhamma class for the day. I will call you because he also called me and I told him the same thing, that I am at Dhamma school. But not to worry. Okay. All right. So, where was I? Oh yeah, sense doors. So visual objects, auditory objects for you to hear, taste objects, which is food and drinks, right? Then touch objects like the fan, the water in the shower, the nice mattress you sleep on, yeah, the friendly mosquito in the neighborhood, the friendly fly when they land on your skin. Those are all touch objects, right? That activates your body sense door, and you then know that you can feel something. Then various smells, good smells and the not so great smells that activate your nose. And then lastly, memories and thoughts, right? So those are your sense doors and sense objects. Now, what happened here in this example that I was telling you, my eyes saw KFC chicken and Coke. My nose smelled the chicken, right? And I don't necessarily hear anything, just seeing that and just smelling triggered something in me. What did it trigger? It triggered a thought, right? That said, I like it. I want it. So it triggered a Lobha Situvili and a Lobha state of mind, greed. It means I like, I want. And then what happened? As a result of the mind state, thoughts, words, and actions started forming, right? The thoughts started forming. I didn't order this, so this is obviously not for me. Let me see. I wonder, whoever ordered, whether the person included everyone in the household, including myself. That means I will get stuff to eat. Then words start forming where I will then call out and ask, Savindi, did you order KFC? And if she says yes, then I'll ask, did you order for me also? If she says no, what shall I do? Kill her? These are the choices for a mother, ne? When to love your child, when to kill your child. So words start forming, right? And then body actions start forming, right? Where I will then probably get up and go and get a plate. Of course, dear Savindi will never order chicken for me. And even if she does, I'll probably teach her that she needs to learn to share. So anyway, then the body actions start forming where I will stand up and go and get a plate and, So see, all that happened primarily because of my eye seeing a visual object. My eye saw a visual object and it triggered a sequence of things that resulted with either me fighting with Savindi, and either ways, I end up eating chicken and drink Coca-Cola, right? Now, it all started. And again, was I hungry? Was I thirsty? No. So then why did I end up eating chicken and drinking Coca-Cola? Many people don't understand this in the world, right? And this is why we need to understand this whole process. Most often we do things not because we want to, because it's triggering something. Because it's triggering something in us, right? Irrespective of whether we really need it or not. Okay, so this is why this world is in such a bad state right now. Humans have needs and wants. If you look at a need, just to survive, we need very little things. But if you look at our wants, this planet doesn't have sufficient resources to cater to our wants. That is why this planet is in such a bad state. But if you think of needs, what do we need? We probably need, as an adult, you guys are children, so you are still growing, right? But adults need at minimum 1 meal a day. Adults need probably 2 pairs of clothes, one to wear and the other one, whenever what you are wearing, you need to wash it and put it out to dry, you need one more. That's all, right? And adults need somewhere safe to stay. Somewhere safe to stay is any thing that can be closed and locked, then it's safe, right? You don't need like houses with so many floors and so many bedrooms. And where I work, there is a house, a huge house. It is so huge. I'm just thinking maybe it has 23 bedrooms. But have you considered that even if you're in a house with 3 stories and 23 bedrooms, whatever, any human being can occupy a space of maximum 2 feet by 2 feet at any given time? Maybe maximum 3 feet by 3 feet. I think mostly you need just 2 feet by 2 feet of a space. You really don't need much space. You might be inside a house that has 23 rooms, but you can only occupy a 2 by 2 square feet space at any given time. And you can only be in one room at a time. So there's a lot of folly, delusion going in our minds, right? That makes us think we want and want and want. Want this and want that and want everything. And that is why this planet cannot sustain this amount of human wants. So clearly this planet can easily cater to our human needs, easily, because human needs are minimum. But this planet cannot cater to everybody's human wants, because wants are unlimited, right? So the only way you'll understand this is through the Satipatthana, when you do Kaya-anupassana, Vedana-anupassana, Chitta-anupassana, and Dhamma-anupassana, when you start observing the impermanence of things, the lack of control of things. Impermanence is anitya, lack of control is anatma, and as a result, the dissatisfaction that everything gives us. Because no matter what you like, you can never be satisfied because your mind is wired to be unsatisfied. It's wired to be unsatisfied. That is the problem. And you will only see it if you do Satipatthana. And Chitta-anupassana is one way of seeing it, right? That many things you do in life are not really because you need it. It's because of some sense trigger, either the eye or the ear or the nose or the tongue or the body or the mind. Something set it off. And you are just blindly followed, blindly, not knowing that it's a delusion. And that's why the Buddha said that this mind is tricking you. But in order to trick you, it's not some living being that has an agenda, that wakes up in the morning and thinks, today I'm going to trick you. It's just a process. It's just a process. And everybody is just going with the flow, right? 7 billion population on this planet, 99.99 going with the flow, not knowing, not understanding that this way of living is absolutely ridiculous and not worth it. You will never ever be happy in this path, right? There's only one way to be happy, and that is the path that the Buddha has set. So what do people like us do? We are not monks. Many of you, I know you are not interested in getting enlightened, and that's fine. Just knowing this will give you so much of relief and peace in life, because there will be moments in life that you need to exercise control, exercise conscious selection in what you are doing. Apply brakes and tell yourself that through a sense reactions, there is a process that's kick-started. I'm going with the flow, but not this time. Sometimes you have to apply brakes. It's good for you and it's good for others. Those people who don't know and don't have this ability to apply brakes, they go and do things that they regret, which results in divorce. Some results in murder. Some results in theft. Some results in going to jail. Some result in being drug addict and being put into rehabilitation. Basically, they ruin their life when they don't have this little knowledge of when to apply brakes, where to exercise caution, and so on. So Satipatthana is a life skill. Understanding how the mind works is a life skill. Understanding and having some practice on the ability to apply brakes when required is a life skill, right? Because otherwise, there is no difference between humans and any other animal species. There's no point in having a most advanced brain on this planet if we are not going to use it. Because in order to apply brakes, in order to make conscious choices, you need to use the advanced part of your brain that is only available for the human species, right? Every other animal species will go with the flow. Unfortunately, out of 7 billion people, very few know this and very few do this, okay? So that is why it is so important to, and just by being born a Buddhist, just by your birth certificate, somebody typed saying Agama, Buddhagama, what religion, Buddhist. That doesn't give you this knowledge. It doesn't give you this practice, right? So let us spend 5 minutes and try to understand this. So basically, all of us non-enlightened people are wired in this manner to be under delusion that whatever gets triggered in your sense doors is what you want, right? Whatever that gets triggered in your sense doors and whatever that whole process of, because of the trigger, your thoughts start getting formed, words start getting formed, and actions start getting formed the way I was explaining to you about the KFC example. Many humans believe that whatever got triggered through the sense doors is what you want. But very few know that it was just a trigger only. It had nothing to do with what you really want. Okay, so trying to understand that, they're just seeing that once in a while is a big achievement, because just that knowledge is what will help you to apply that trigger. So how do you do this? Just observe in your mind when you like something and when you dislike something. Because when you like something, a Lobha has already come to your mind. When you dislike something, a Dvesha has already come to your mind. Just the ability to recognize it is a massive achievement. Just the ability to recognize it, right? So let me do an example. I will tell you a story. You just listen. Close your eyes and just listen, because when you close your eyes, your vision is limited. Now that you are not eating or drinking, your tongue is not working. So the eye sense door is closed, the tongue sense door is closed. And if you're paying attention to what I'm saying, the other sense doors are also more or less not in action. So just by listening to what I'm saying, just observe whether you like what you are hearing. As you hear, you will notice that thoughts are forming, memories are coming, right? And some thoughts you will like, some of those memories you will like. And as you are listening, do you dislike what you are hearing? As you are listening, do memories form of things you didn't like? Are thoughts being formed of things you don't like, right? That is all you need to do. Just observe whether you like what you hear and whether you like what you are thinking, right? And whether you dislike what you are hearing and whether you dislike what you are thinking. All right, everybody clear with it? I want to see videos. Hello, videos, please. I want videos. I want videos. All right, cool. Some more videos. Excellent. Very good. Remember? Perfect. Excellent. All right. Now sit comfortably. Come on, you know how to sit. Sit comfortably. Keep your back straight. Keep your back straight. Sit comfortably. Right? Keep your head straight. Close your eyes. All right. And I will tell a story. You just listen. Just observe whether you like or dislike. All right. What you are hearing. Okay. So here we go. One day, I was walking by a street when I saw an ice cream counter. And in that ice cream counter, there was vanilla ice cream, there was chocolate ice cream, there was mixed flavors, and the person was giving out ice cream in cones and in small cups. And I thought, I need an ice cream. So I went over and I checked the price, and the price was very good, and I was feeling very happy. And while I was looking at the various flavors, and now I can't decide, and the person tells me, can I give you a small sample so you can taste and decide? And I thought, what a nice person. And the person gave me a couple of samples, and I tasted, and I chose a mixed ice cream. In that ice cream, there was a mix of vanilla, chocolate, cashew nuts, caramel, and what else? Yum, yum, yum. All right. I forget what else. Oh, there was some chunky chocolate chips in it, real chocolate. And what else was there? There was what they call, I forget the name. Anyway, some really yummy pieces that crunchy pieces in it. So I asked for a cone, and I got a nice cone. It was a sunny day, a hot day. I thought, let me find a nice place to sit and enjoy my ice cream. So I took my ice cream cone, and now I was looking around, and then I saw there was a nice place to sit and enjoy my ice cream. And I went there to sit, but when I came close to the chair, I could see that there was some kitty poop on it. A cat has pooped on it, right? And that was quite horrible. I nearly sat on it. Luckily, I saw it. And then I was like, okay, so I can't sit here. And I was like, why would a cat poop on a chair? That is disgusting, right? And then somebody else came with ice cream and tried to sit, and I was like, hey, look, there's something yucky there on that chair. And the person looked and was like, oh my God, ew, how horrible. I was like, yeah, I know. And they were like, ugh. And I was like, yeah. And now because it was hot and sunny, my ice cream is melting, and a little bit was melting down my wrist. And I was like, oh gosh, should I lick it or should I not? And I was thinking, if I lick the ice cream off my wrist, who will see me? Someone sees me, it's not nice, you know, especially if the Dhamma school kid sees me, it's terrible. And the teacher is licking her hand because there's ice cream on her hand. But this is valuable ice cream dripping down my wrist in beautiful flavors. Should I let it go waste? Okay, now I have a dilemma, and the rest of the ice cream is also now dripping. What should I do? All right, let's stop there. You can now open your eyes. Okay, so සදේ වැස් දෙකක් නෙව. නින්ද ගියාද සදේට? Okay, let's pick someone to share. So, Sineja, would you like to share what kind of thoughts were there? Did you recognize moments where you were liking things, where feelings of I want this, I like this, and feelings of I don't like this, I don't like what I'm hearing? Will you share some things?
It was mostly neutral, but the only liking was like the ice cream and when you describe the flavors. So
okay, cool, good. Supuni, how was it for you?
Like I imagined like the visually, but then I was okay with it. I didn't have any like pleasant or bad feelings, just neutral, and I don't like ice cream that much, so.
Okay, all right. And the kitty poop didn't give even some mild feelings of dislike in you? Thinking of kitty?
No, I was like even if I was like we were cats in an expert, we would do the same, so it was fine.
All right, good. Setume, how was it for you?
Me too felt pleasant when describing about the ice cream flavors.
You liked it?
Yeah.
Was there anything you didn't like?
No.
Sinaru
No.
say, sorry?
Others are all neutral.
Neutral. Okay, thank you, darling. Nemansa, would you like to share anything?
Same as others.
Okay, thank you, darling. And everyone else quickly switched off their videos. So don't worry, I'm not going to ask you, can you put your videos back? I will not ask you. So Sineru wrote saying he had a tasty dream. Yes, Sineru, I know. Thank you. So I think you kids understood things that you like. So put the videos on, kids. Don't worry. It's a safe place. I won't ask you anymore. All right. So I think you kids understood when thoughts of liking comes. Now remember, like and dislike can happen at a very gross level or a very subtle level, right? Now at a very rough or gross level is where you are at, where you are recognizing it. You need to try and see the very subtle levels of likes and dislikes, right? So in that story, even though you think you are neutral, right? It's very rare, very, very rare that we are neutral at all. There are very minute levels of like and dislike, right? Even those minute levels of likes and dislikes triggers a greed-based mind or an aversion-based mind in you. So a lot of people struggle to understand this because they have a problem in accepting that a greed-based mind and an aversion-based mind exist in us. So don't struggle with that, Putas, right? Lobha Siddha and the Dvesha Siddha. Lobha Siddha and the Dvesha Siddha is an absolute part and parcelness of our life. It's there all the time. In fact, Lobha Siddha and Dvesha Siddha are two sides of the same coin, right? So observe whether you have noticed that. So Puni, you'll have to take some other example because you are not a fan of ice cream, right? But if I stick with the same story, an ice cream cone usually does not contain a lot of ice cream, right? So any normal person, right? Because a normal person can eat quite a lot. Any normal person who eats one ice cream cone, a majority can end up feeling, I want more. I wish this didn't finish. Can I have another cone? Now, most often in real life, we don't have two ice cream cones at the same time, right? One is because they're expensive. Two, it's because it's a cold product. It's not encouraged because many people in the country have sema and kata and this and that and all kinds of things. And thirdly, because it's a dessert, we are not a huge dessert eating country. Like we are a big rice and curry country. So nobody comes and says, "Tawa ice cream ekak kanna, tawa ice cream ekak kanna." But anybody will come and say, "Tawa bat ekak kanna, tawa parithidaya padagan," you know. So for various reasons, many people don't end up in eating a second ice cream. But if you ask a person who ate the second ice cream, they will say that they still want some, right? Now, you can eat until you feel like throwing, but that there's something inside us that never really ever gets satisfied, right? So people who just ate 3 or 4 or 5 ice creams, they say that finally I just felt overstuffed and uncomfortable, right? So that I want one more ice cream changes into, oh, I wish this stuffed up feeling goes away, right? But if you just stick with the ice cream alone, you eat one ice cream and you want some more, and for one reason or the other, you know, you can't get another one. Then arises a slight dislike because what you want, you can't get, right? So what I have noticed is because I try to practice Chittanupassana, I noticed that every time there's a like, dislike is already there with it. It's already there. It's just that it's a matter of time before it arises. Like comes with dislike. And another thing I realized is delusion is also already there, because like and dislike arose because of delusion, right? So Lobha, Dvesha, Moha is there full time. It's a full-time thing. They are all the time. And the only thing we can do is to observe as and when one takes precedence over the other, which one is more powerful at this time. And only when you are enlightened will all three just go away. Yeah. So I will stop there. That is Chittanupassana for you. And next week we'll do Dhammanupassana in the Satipatthana.